Good evening and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, where I'm slightly suspicious of what my audio meters are doing. So do let me know if I'm being too quiet. What are we doing? We're apparently smelting hematite ore. Well, that's probably for the best. So yes, we didn't get any interesting sieges last session, but we're a little suspicious that come autumn one might turn up. We are gradually doing more things with magma rather than coal so as to reduce the carbon footprint of the fortress. So we're now making our steel primarily with magma, though we do need a supply of coal to provide the necessary reducing environment for steel making. Yes, we are thus going to probably not need too much additional coal mining. We've got a decent supply here. We are probably converting slightly too much of it to coke, but I'm sure that'll be fine. The idea here is that we probably want a bit more, oh no, that wasn't the button I meant, a bit more steel armour for our troops. So let's have a quick look at that, because I can't remember what's going on. We've got a population of about 60. So actually, let's start with helms, because those are kind of the most important thing. We have 71 steel helms, some of which do probably want to be melted down, but we've probably got 60 good steel helms, so that's not too bad. We've got 94 steel gauntlets, so we want at least 10 more pairs of gauntlets. Yes, is that right? I don't know, something like that. Arithmetic's too complicated for me. 20 more gauntlets would still not be enough, so we want about 15 more pairs of steel gauntlets. Let's see what our construction schedule for those is. Do we have a job making gauntlets already? Yes, and it has about the correct number left to run. Excellent. Was that a steel high boots just below the steel gauntlets there, or am I confused? No, it was make bone bolts. Okay. So I think gauntlets are the thing we're currently bringing up to the correct number. Steel high boots we have 99 of, so we're going to want another 10 pairs of high boots as well. Let's add that to the list. We've got 51 steel mail shirts, so we will also want 10 more steel mail shirts. So we'll add those to the list as well. At least 10 steel mail shirts. I haven't actually checked how many of those are worn out. Right. Yes, I mean, strictly, I'm not actually caring about the amount of CO2 we emit in this fortress, partly because I don't think the atmosphere is that accurately modelled in Dwarf Fortress. I'm actually doing it in order to save having to mine so much coal, because that's a faff. Right, so that's all that lot is like underway. So what's our current steel bars situation? Apparently our steel bars situation is 0. Really? Okay. Yes, well, yes, that does indeed appear to be true. The thing of which we have most bars, oh, actually is copper. thing of which we have the second largest number of bars is soap. Steel we have 0 bars of, so yes, those won't be we won't be making anything out of steel until we've got some steel bars. And our make steel bars, let's just check there's like a job that should make some. We probably don't need that make charcoal job anymore, do we? Plonk. Because charcoal we can now make directly, or rather we can now make coke directly from coal without needing a source of refined coal to bootstrap the process. So that's good. We've got make pig iron there. Oh, make steel bars there. So that's conditional on having a decent quantity of flux boulders and pig iron bars. So we are apparently short of flux. Like we've got a couple of flux boulders here. Okay, let's go mining more flux then. That's just siltstone covered in thrip ichor. There's a patch of chalk. So a lot of the time, actually, what I should do is not so much look for the highest thing as find a good staircase to use. On which subject? Maybe now that we're wanting to haul rocks to the surface, we should try to extend. See where this staircase goes. Currently only goes down as far as there. Is that deep enough to find? If that staircase went 2 levels deeper, it would reach a layer that actually has access to calcium carbonate, which will make it a good place for mining flux from. We have to be a bit careful about the water situation though. I mean, ultimately we could connect it up to that stair. Well, we could. I suppose we could just run that staircase down far enough that it hits the drains again. So if we extend that staircase down into that layer, then we could I'm slightly dubious about mining corridors for running water along, because then they do tend to drown people. Let's actually undo that. Only go down 1 layer from here. And then we'll dig sideways a bit. And then have the water go vertically down into the drainage system from there. And we can put grates over the holes that we make. Hang on, that's 1 level too high, isn't it? What? What are you playing at, Harris? Up, up, down, down, down. Yes, I got that wrong. Cancel that lot and dig that lot deeper by 1 layer, and then dig out from there to directly above the drainage channel and channel there, and then we'll install grates there, and that should then be reasonably safe. I mean, the water will have to run along that corridor, which is a bit ugly, but it has to go horizontally at some point.
If a dwarf happens to be in that corridor when it happens, they might be able to swim.
It hopefully won't get that deep. It'll be muddy, but... And then we want to cancel that, which is part of what's causing me confusion. And then these two Z levels in particular are perfectly good places to mine chalk from. And that will provide us with some flux stone higher up. What's that V? Anhydrite. Is anhydrite a flux stone? I can't remember. Maybe it tells me on the stone listing. No, anhydrite is not a useful stone. Right. May look interesting, but it is actually dull. Whereas, like, chalk is quite useful. I mean, there is yet deeper flux stone available, but, like, let's start with that chalk. Right, so what else should I be paying attention to before anything exciting happens? We think we've got everyone who needs to be able to swim. I think I should look at what my military's schedules are, because I think, actually let's just, so the current situation is the mortal bodices and the heavy rocks are now empty. The silent smiths is people who should probably not be actually getting into combat. So we should look at who is assigned to siege operating and put all of them into the silent smiths. Damn it. Anyone who has yes, if it says number 6 next to them, they should be. What did that just do? I think that did something useful, but I'm a bit confused. I think possibly trying to have these two things open at the same time is not working well. When I click this, something happens over there. I think my mouse clicks are going through that panel in a really confusing fashion. Right, let's just assign anyone who... So, I hope I haven't broken anything too badly by what I just clicked on. So the silent smiths should contain anyone who is... If you could tell me which work detail, that will make my life much simpler. Anyone who is not already in the silent smiths and is a specialised siege operator. Right, well, that's probably all the right people anyway. Right, yeah, let's just stop there. So now let's look at our schedules. So those 5 are the squads that, those 6 are the squads that are meant to be useful. Maybe we should look at their members as well. No, let's look at their schedules first. So are they all currently just set to monthly orders? No, some of them are set to constant training. Let's put everyone to staggered training. Anyone who we think is a useful squad, but then we may need to work out what their respective training is. Oh gods, I have to think about an entire year now, don't I? Possibly I don't. Possibly if I then press escape, do I get back to here? Right, yes. What we don't really care about everything being perfectly even. We care about there being someone scheduled to patrol surface in every month. Everyone getting some time to train and everyone getting some time off. So the salty inks patrol the surface in felsite, limestone and opal. You guys do slate, galena and moonstone. You guys do granite, malachite and timber. And is that all we've got, and we need to add another one? Looks like it, yes. So let's just get the oceanic calm on. No, can we do this? Can we do this by, I bet we can't, so if we choose copy, then we get a bunch of paste buttons that are done there, which I think means we can't copy between. Yes, so we can't copy between squads. So we need to create a new thing. Like that, which says we need some people patrolling the surface. Why? Oh, hang on, no, I need to do this by setting that to 5 and then choosing this. Is that right? Yes, that's better. And then we go 4 months later than that. And 4 months later than that, right. So that means that now all of the surface patrols are probably set up sensibly. All right, yes, and we need those to change to off-duty rather than, is that right? Maybe to no orders rather than off-duty. Because the last thing we want is for them not to be wearing their armour ever. As for them ever not be wearing their armour. I mean, this user interface is different from the old one for organising your squads, but it's still terrible. Right, well, that's at least not a complete disaster of a schedule. The dwarves will now at least try to wear their armour all the time. I think the siege operators aren't in general seriously unhappy, but I think we should try to also what's name the Lardy Larks, because I think they're no longer quite the correct set. Particularly, we have some gaps among them. And, well, Moses Altarikal probably wants to be put in there. Yes, I can't actually do it until I close that. And then... Oops, I just added someone who really shouldn't have been there. Oh, I don't care. Occasionally having the wrong people in a squad is not going to kill anyone. Well, I mean, it will, but... Should Led Aladusim... Yes, Led Aladusim should be in the Lardy Larks anyway. So we probably want to also stick in Dumat, the other one of those... No, the other siege operator, and Cogsack on Miller. And yes, putting the siege operators into the Lardy Larks will make... Oh, maybe what I should do actually is make the Silent Smiths a bit Lardy Larkish. As in, I should give them... Also make them not have anywhere they can train and schedule them to occasionally go training anyway. And that would then help with ensuring that my siege operators do actually take some time off. They'll take time off by thinking they're going training, but it might work. Oh dear, where did that happen then? Right. That doesn't seem to have actually marked that square for mining. What's happened there? That's better. I mean, I don't actually think we need to do anything more on this these squares. Those do seem to have been properly mined and to be now up-down stairways. I think I might have to pay fairly close attention to this mining, though, because this area here will flood very quickly if it once it's cut out, and we need to keep digging when that happens. Okay, maybe that's not too damp on the next layer down. Okay, you seem to have decided not to mine that, which is going to make things a bit difficult. Let's turn the priority all the way up at the same time, because I think that does make a bit of a difference. Okay, this is kind of filling up with water faster than I had hoped. Like those squares are already at 7/7. And we're now starting to accumulate water up here. And where's all that salt coming from? So I might need to start laying in extra drains just in order to get it dry enough to safely finish building this staircase. Like, if we don't start mining soon, there'll be too much water in the way. Yeah, I think we're doomed in that respect. Right. Oh no, there was someone coming to collect some rock. Thank you. That wasn't actually what I was hoping for. I was hoping for someone to come. Oh no, someone is coming to do some mining. Right. That might then give us just enough space to go down another level. They are actually on the staircase. No, okay, it is now too flooded for it to be practical to keep digging, because we have 7/7 of water above the layer that we want to dig into. What I think we should do then, we don't really want some, well, I suppose if someone ends up being swept into the drains, they'll probably only be slightly injured by the experience. What I think we want to do then is some careful reprioritization. So let's blank that for now, and then say first dig a staircase up from there. Why aren't you willing to do that? Actually, we have a corridor here, don't we? We could do it from here instead, yes. First, dig a corridor along to there. Then, priority 2, make a hole in the floor there. And a corridor there. Is that safe? No, let's not do it quite like that, actually. So then at priority 2, we definitely want to dig that, which is... Actually, that could be at priority 1 as well. Oh, it doesn't really matter. But then we need... But obviously, we'll have to be able to get past that hole in the floor. So that means that at priority 2, we want something to get past there. Is it worth doing anything more complicated than that? I mean, that means there'll probably be a little bit of water creeping into this corridor, but not much. And then only once that's done should we attempt to connect in to the staircase, which is currently rather rapidly filling up with water. So that should be reasonably safe in that the sequence of operations will involve first making sure there's somewhere for the water to go, and only once there is somewhere for the water to go, actually allowing the water to get in there. The slight danger is that when digging out that staircase, the dwarf might get swept down here, fall 2Z levels into here and get injured. But they shouldn't drown, and they should at worst get swept along to the gratings here where the water disappears into the caverns, and be able to themselves extricate themselves there. And I hope that those 2Z levels of fall won't be so bad as to be fatal. I hope. Like, we've had much longer falls that have been, but that's why I'm making it only a short fall this time. Also, this mining here should get us, all being well, some chalk. So let's experiment with the silent smiths then. What's their schedule at the moment is presumably always no orders. So let's change that. Let's give them a nominal staggered training. But it should be... Actually, that looks quite good. The occasional month of training. The other ones should be no orders rather than off duty. And we should make sure that the silent smiths don't have anywhere assigned, but I think they are already in that state. Let's just check. Oh, are they assigned to that one? No. Good. They're not, or neither are they assigned to the rather weird barracks down here. No. But all of our water-related ones should be assigned to there, because otherwise they won't train anywhere. Right, that's better. So what's going on with the with this now? You're still digging. Good. Presumably not a very good miner yet. No, you're only an adequate miner, which is why you're going so slowly. Which might be fine, I don't know. Try not to drown. Still, we've got some more chalk now. I mean, the administrator's thus probably getting some good dodging practice, if nothing else. Yes. Improved fighting. Excellent. All right, apparently we're in bauxite there. Ooh, a second miner is getting involved. I think that was probably safe. Because you simply can't get in there. Why are you now hauling your pick? Is this because of some mess of... Oh, someone's immediately nipped down to collect some chalk. Excellent. Is that because of some organisational mess? I mean, not all equipment mess. Are you coming to do the next bit of mining? You're, I think, a better miner, even though you don't appear in mining colours. Yes, you're a legendary miner, so you'll probably be able to run away more easily. Maybe. Or at least to not be in the wrong place. You're being followed by a raven. Right, so this is where it gets exciting. Whee! Oh dear, yes, you've fallen down a hole.
Are you all right?
I mean, a little bit drowning, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Yes, there we are. Perfectly well hauled self out of hole, cheered up by the waterfall, satisfied at work, not injured. See, didn't even hit the ground very hard. Now a little bit lost.
Oh, did dwarves get lost?
No. But not in the place they were expecting to be. No, dwarves have a perfect sense of direction and can detect changes to the topology of the fortress at great distance, I believe. Right, so that is kind of functioning correctly. We would, I think, ideally stick a couple of grates in the floor there to stop anyone else getting washed down that hole. Like, if we'd been efficient, we would have put the grates in place before the miner fell down the hole. But it'll be fine. Right, and then we should actually do some mining, which is what we're down here for. There is quite a lot of water coming down that staircase at the moment. But I suppose once we've got the grates in place, it'll be pretty hard to be seriously hurt by it. And everyone gets to experience a waterfall on the way, so... and we know that dwarves like waterfalls. So how are our tasks going over here? Oops. Right, so we're still not making steel because we still don't have enough chalk. Or other flux stone. So we know that there's also some chalk over there. Possibly we could like go around the bauxite for that. Oh, there is actually chalk on that layer as well. If we just dig sideways a bit. Just head for the nearest chalk. See if that finds us any. Could do that at a higher priority, but it's fine. After all, we do know that this is chalk. It's just slightly more dangerous chalk to be mining. Or at least slightly wetter chalk to be mining. Once we've got those grates in place, we could build a wall that will make sure that the water doesn't actually flood all of the mines, can't we? I mean, we could, in theory, do it before the grates in place. Let's do that. So that way, the water's forced over the gratings and won't be able to spread deeper into the mine, which will avoid like trees growing in the mine and that kind of thing. What's happened to that grate? Oh, right, it got suspended, possibly because it was too wet. So it is 26th of late summer. So it will soon be a new season, but we're not currently expecting sieges to arrive specifically in the... You've suspended it again. No. We're not expecting sieges to arrive. Oh, right, the chalk on this layer is very nearby. Which like makes sense, it's pretty close by on that layer. So we could auto mine those gems. And let's mine these out to a kind of rectangle, because otherwise it's just going to get confusing. Right, so both grates are now constructed, which means there's no danger that dwarves will fall down that hole. There's some coal there, but we don't currently consider coal to be a high priority. We're now getting up to the point of having a vaguely decent amount of spare chalk. Right, and that should now ensure that we don't get any more water in this area, though it is still a bit muddy. Oh, beginning of autumn. And hence an autosave, because we're at the start of the year as far as anniversaries of our fortress go. So now there will be a short delay while all of the stuff that the game knows about gets carefully marshalled to disk. And then half of our animals will die. Does that have any limestone? I can't remember. Also some more hematite here if we wanted some. But don't think we currently have a shortage of hematite. Oh, it's the useless tribute from the elves. Yeah, let's mine a little bit more down here. Hang on. No, I don't want to mine that square, it's useless. Right. So we should be getting close to the point where we can start restart steel making. Yes, we appear to have enough flux. We don't have enough pig iron. Is pig iron also dependent on flux? It is, so pig iron should now, at the next opportunity, start being made.
Point.
And that should then... Yay, make pig iron bars has now been added to the queue. Good. And then once we have enough pig iron, making steel bars will start being added as well. And then happiness will ensue, or at least steel will ensue, which is a major cause of happiness as far as dwarves are concerned. Well, that's a fairly effective forgotten beast. The giant cave spider's only effective attack was that it dropped its corpse on the forgotten beast, and even that wasn't very effective. So we are trying to make some armour in there. You are at least hauling 2 copper bolts to the bolt throwers. I was going to make another one, wasn't I? Oh yes, but I'd run out of bins. Maybe we have enough bins now. We do have 61 copper mechanisms, which is a bit silly.
How did you get so many? Did you dismantle that lever that had 59 stuck in there?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we had a huge number in this lever, and we had a job that would make more if ever we were short of them, but it didn't count the ones stuck in the lever, sensibly really. So yes, we do have quite a lot of crossbow bolts in these bins now, which should help with fueling the bolt throwers. One problem, of course, is that bolts end up like scattered all over the place in single units rather than in nice big stacks whenever people fire them. And so there's a limit to like how many we have to haul individual bolts, or at least we have to collect up individual bolts in order to be able to put them into the bolt thrower. So people are still practicing with their bolt throwers. I hope this will improve their accuracy. Bone bolts are still being carefully put into their stockpile. We do still have stupid numbers of objects lying around, but no, most of those are actually unforbidden, so there's nothing to stop the dwarves eventually putting them somewhere more useful or melting them. Major thing you end up spending your time doing as a siege operator is actually reloading your bolt thrower, because it's faster to fire it than to load it, I think, if you're loading it with single bolts.
I understand this is true of a lot of fast-firing
Yes.
real weapons. Generally, if it can fire fast, it probably loads more slowly.
But this is why we have so many bolt throwers on the surface. It really would be nice if you loaded them from the back. Are these really muzzle-loading crossbows? I mean, yes, I know you can fire past people with a bolt thrower, but it's still a bit worrying. Like, given the quantity of crossbow bolts that come out of these things. Well, you'll learn how to do that eventually. Possibly we want the forging to be done a little more selectively so that only people who are good at it do it, but let's build some more weapon traps. They seem to be quite effective. And like, we have plenty of weapons. No, actually, oh dear, no, that wasn't what I meant at all. I think that just cancelled it. Good. I don't want to install bows, because then people come and insist on coming and reloading them each siege. We should melt down all the bows, except for the ones that are made of wood. No, that's a bow, Harris. Excuse me. Stocks. Bow. Okay, most of the bows are in fact marked for melting anyway. Because yes, iron and copper bows are not particularly useful things to have around. on, just typing something on, something in IRC. Right, back to the dwarves. Yes, I've left Dwarf Fortress unpaused while doing that, so who knows what's happened while I wasn't looking. I still haven't. I still seem to have made a mess of getting a weapon trap in this square. Let's have another go. We want to install all weapons that are nearby that are not bows. Like, nearbyness is probably quite good. Yeah, we're not. Things are stable enough that the game should pause before anything really fatal happens, like a bunch of goblins turn up.
I did see you just click away a long list of things that were fighting. But
Yeah, but that's the wildlife. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, okay, but possibly there was a forgotten beast fighting a dwarf. That would have been a bad situation. Right now, I'm mostly worried about depression killing dwarves, but I don't think we're actually in serious danger there either. Let's mark some more space for mining, because I think we need to keep mining flux stone. Okay, where are you going with that? You're taking coke away from the surface because we don't have any coke storage up here, and I was kind of hoping that enough of it would just sit around in the magma smelter. It is sitting around in the magma smelter. Yeah, go and file the coke downstairs just in case we want it down there at some point. So what are you up to? All right, yes, you are slowly moving spare coke out of here. Do I care? No, I'm going to not care about that. I need to care about fewer things in this fortress, I think. Right. Have they delivered our... tribute yet? No, where's our tribute gone? There's still some elves slogging across this map because... No, all the gates are open. It should be quite easy for elves to get to the right place, unless they're getting into fights with the wildlife. Oh well, I'm sure they'll tell me if they turn up there. Dwarves suspended the construction of bolt thrower, having been distracted by a raven. Yeah, okay. Having killed a raven, it appears. Just re-enable that. Right, good. Someone has immediately come back to finish building the bolt thrower. Looks like we might not have enough. Oh, right, and now we have another bolt thrower which should be put into loaded mode. We seem still to be a bit short of furnace operators. We've got quite a few people assigned to it, but they are all currently doing military things. Right, well, let's deassign the two who have no actual skill in this and assign to it instead two people who aren't currently doing military things. And let them learn how to operate the furnace. So there we have a tame grizzly bear. We should release that from the cage. Oh dear, yeah, there is a slight danger that we're going to have we're suffering a goose explosion at the moment. Oh, just randomly check that the, oh dear, the Tower of Keskalokil is short one raven. As in, not only is there a raven missing from it, it is only assigned 6 ravens. Because one of them has presumably died. Does it have an adequate stock of spare ravens? Do we have an adequate stock of spare ravens, or are we going to need... Type raven into the box, Ben. We do. Well, let's take up one of the less well-trained ones on the grounds that losing them is better than losing the good ones. Right. Why is no one building my traps for me? Maybe they are. No, no one is building my traps for me. How sad. Doesn't really matter. Right, so you are now making coke, which is probably unnecessary, but it has to be done at some point. You currently know nothing about operating a furnace, so you're probably going to do it quite badly. But the nice thing about coke is it has no quality levels anyway, so at worst what this means is it's a bit slow. Where are you going with those copper arrows? Like, the right thing to do with them is melt them, but I'm a bit concerned about where you're heading with them, because I don't know what stockpile you should be putting them in. And yes, I could probably look, but... Is it this stockpile? In which case that might actually be sensible. Yes, okay, right. And then they will get melted. Eventually. Indeed, yes, metal objects are continuing to be melted. We have quite a lot of different metal bars in here. It's not just all copper. So is this set to take from... Right, yes. So that deliberately gives to low quality steel. That's not correct. Takes from... I mean, not that anything seems to be using that stockpile. We could enhance that a bit and start adding like all of the headgear to it as well. Continuing to melt down poor quality steel items, in addition to everything that ends up in this. So what's this one set up to collect then? So that's currently, all right, in ammo it's collecting everything except bolts in all metals, but not in unmetals. In armour it is collecting every kind of thing, but only in copper at the moment. I think we could actually have it collect all kinds of armour except adamantine and steel, because we are pretty close to only wanting those. And that way and it should also collect, in fact, since we're generally marking them for melting, we have already got weapons. Oh gods, no, I can't do this. I need it to collect weapons in, I suppose actually we could just do weapons in all metals that aren't steel as well, couldn't we? Yeah, go on. No, but a lot of them we don't want to melt down. We don't actually want to melt copper weapons either. No, you've got this wrong, Harris. This should only be weapons we don't want to put into weapon traps, which is bows and crossbows, and those we want to melt down in all weapons, all materials. Even if we get a steel bow, it's still pointless. Any other weapon we can stick in a weapon trap. Right, so that's a better configuration. Though, like, a lot of these will not actually currently be marked for melting. But pretty much anything that ends up here probably ought to be melted. Is anyone building my weapon traps yet? I like my weapon traps. I want more weapon traps. Yes, good. Are you learning how to operate a furnace? Yes, you're a dabbling furnace operator now. Excellent.
I wouldn't want to dabble in a furnace if it means in the duck sense.
Well, I mean, I suspect that may be part of why they're not good at it yet. Like, you probably don't do it with your actual beak. You probably have a tool for the purpose. For one thing, dwarves don't have beaks. So, did you just cancel that task? Yes, you got interrupted by a raven, and so you've cleared off, you nuisance. So, yes. Oh, that one of those weapon traps has been built. I suppose they are quite quick to build as long as you make them out of the weapons that have conveniently been abandoned nearby. Right, here is our dwarf constructing this weapon trap. Hauling a copper pike and going a few squares away and finding another copper pike. And then getting scared off by a raven, I expect. Okay, the caravan has arrived. Yes, okay, unsuspend the construction of that weapon trap. I can't remember who our... Oh, yes, I should remember clicking on that's particularly slow. Like, now that we're actually... Yes, of course, we can't sell leather armour. Don't know. I think this is the... what is it? Is autumn? No, these must be dwarves coming to visit. Okay, so we can sell them pretty much anything. Except leather armour. Not allowed to sell them leather armour.
What happens if you do anyway?
Actually, the most of what will happen is that the mayor will try to punish someone for it, except that we don't have any mechanism set up for punishing people at the moment. So the mayor will just get annoyed. Like, I would prefer them not to get annoyed. Apparently all the apricot wood bins are full of weirder stuff that we can't sell. I don't quite understand why this should be distinguished based on... Oh, we can sell that. Based on what kind of bin they are, but there you go. Right, so... Unpause. Actually, we turned out to have a spare artifact mechanism, didn't we? So we should probably construct another weapon trap here. And maybe try to put good weapons into this, though. Like, we don't really want to put steel into it because we have better uses for steel anyway. What's the point of a steel warhammer? Oh, go on then. Let's try to prefer iron here. Right, because obviously more weapon traps is good, because weapon traps are a convenient way of killing goblins that don't involve... That's an enormous quantity of conglomerate blocks in that square. What are they doing there? Oh, on which subject? Oh, yes, we have dismantled. Oh, right, yes. That's the enormous quantity of conglomerate blocks that one of the troll siege engineers brought in order to enable them to build things. I'm still disappointed that they come with 20 of them and not 12. Right, yes, here's the incoming caravan. Anything interesting in here? Mostly just an awful lot of stuff. I wonder if there would be a sane way we could like sweep things out of there. I doubt it. Right, someone is back to making coke from bituminous coal so that we can... Oh, actually, have we gone round one then? Have we done... No. So that then we can actually smelt some hematite and start making some pig iron. You are at least good at furnace operating. What are you hauling? That's presumably not the anvil, it looks like. Oh, right, yes, it's a jug. Because we are still making jugs to fill with royal jelly. we will now turn out to have no steel to make the steel mail shirt. Let us summon our broker to the depot. Hope they can disentangle themselves from their individual combat drill. There's 37 copper arrows being melted down. Excellent. You can turn them into something more useful. Right, yes, here is our dwarf finishing off that weapon trap, so then we can make yet another one nearby. Probably it is necessary to remove the giant hamster corpse, and now that's built. Right, let's ask for another one, see if there are any enough nearby weapons. There are. Anything that's at like distance 4 or 5 will be nice and easy to install. No, you put in a crossbow, you idiot. Crossbows are not to be installed in traps. They are annoying because then when the traps activate, someone has to come out and refill them with bolts. We have much better uses for crossbow bolts. Right, so everything is very calm at the moment in this fortress. I'm still waiting for some items to be delivered to the trade depot, but that's fine because I doubt the traders have finished unloading yet. Possibly I need to take the broker off individual combat drill. Strange, we're short of, not short of gems, we're short of objects to encrust with gems. I think possibly just objects to encrust with gems that are in the correct place.
What you're saying is you've got more gems than you know what to do with.
Yes. I'm just going to... No, we don't need to wall off that... We're deliberately letting water run down that staircase because it cheers up everyone who uses the staircase, aren't we? Yes. No one is doing any mining at the moment, but that's fine. We're probably okay. There's plenty of chalk down here still waiting to be hauled upstairs, so that's probably all right. No one's operating the smelter again. One might have hoped that we would by now have enough furnace operators, but apparently not. Is that one loaded? Yes, good. Right, here is a dwarf filling yet another weapon trap with discarded weapons from the goblins. it's possible we'll need to start. We might want to start putting weapon traps in different places so that they're in places where the goblins have left a lot of their weapons, because like we're clearly pulling back weapons from ahead of these weapon traps. Oh well, look, excellent. Someone is probably going to make us another artifact mechanism. Like there are. Okay, I'm slightly concerned. Oh no, that's the craft dwarf's workshop. That's fine. That's the mechanism workshop, and someone's doing something with it. So yes, lots of nice artifact mechanisms that we use to make artifact weapon traps. Eventually, if people don't get distracted by the wildlife. Right, there's another weapon trap constructed. Yay! I wonder if we should do some elsewhere. Like there's a square there that doesn't have a weapon trap on it. That's clearly no good. And there's probably an enormous quantity of weaponry up here that we could put into it. Yes, like there's a copper two-handed sword on this square. Right, well, that like, we can fill that weapon trap with weapons for almost entirely from the same square. Because these weapon traps kill a lot of goblins who leave their weapons behind on the weapon traps. Indeed, possibly part of the problem is going to be the necessity of clearing... Oh no, that square actually doesn't have much on it. I was going to say of clearing the square of weapons. But of course, the goblins don't die on the squares without the weapon traps. Once the weapon trap's been built, we don't ever need to build anything on that square again. Notice me not installing a crossbow in it. Right, have we got a broker yet? No, right, I'm going to find my broker and work out what squad they're in and take that squad off training for now. The Oceanic Calm, right, the Oceanic Calm are going to be temporarily switched to ready in the hope that the broker can now come and broke. Whatever. Can come and broker, I think, is actually the verb, isn't it? Rather sadly. I wonder where that raven is. There's a raven that's meant to be being put in the tower, but is apparently inaccessible. Right. have we actually got any interesting materials coming from this thing? Probably this caravan, probably not, because they're dwarves and so they're mostly going to bring the kinds of things we already have. I mean, I suppose we could trade an awful lot of rubbish for a steel pick. We've probably got enough steel picks. We'll buy new clothes. We like new clothes. We'll have your decorated steel crossbow bolts. We're okay for food. I have no idea what our thread situation is, and it's cheap. And we like cheese and parchment. Not sure if we're using parchment, but we'll buy it anyway. But yes, they haven't brought anything very exciting. Oh, we could get some sugar, because we might be able... I wonder how... I think sugar you can brew into rum somehow. Right, let's sell them as much rubbish as we can find. What they don't, of course, get is anything to carry this stuff away in. So they have to kind of bundle it all up somehow, because we keep the bins. Partly because I'm not actually emptying each bin. We're only getting rid of the stuff that is worn. Anything that's not significantly damaged we'll keep. Oh, leather armour, don't sell the leather armour. At least it's I was going, why is that highlighted in magenta? It's highlighted in magenta to tell you not to sell it. Hope you like bone bracelets. Okay, that's probably enough. Right, I think that's everything we want from them. So let's put that squad back to its normal tasks. Right, good, and we are... we have a competent furnace or good furnace operator here at the moment, so they're successfully making pig iron and good stuff like that. Are we thus at the point where we can think about making steel yet? Yes, the make steel bars task is now ready as well. And indeed, make steel bars is now on this list. Admittedly, our furnace operator has got distracted. Oh no, they're about to get undistracted. Yes, they've got undistracted and can then come back up here, grab some bituminous coal and turn it into coke. Right, this all seems to be working. And then someone turns up, collects a wheelbarrow and goes off and gets the next batch of bituminous coal. Like, this is a nice little just sitting here and watching things happening sort of time at the moment. Yeah. We might even be in a position to start forging things out of steel in due course. But I think we are there very much rate limited by the metallurgy. Where are you going? Are you... Where did you find... Are you going to get more lignite or something? Still lots of people trying to store items in bins, but possibly some of them are useful bins. How are you doing? You're still going around collecting items. That's good. You're apparently going to put Billen on this mechanisms. And granite. And some praise opals. And some raw green glass. Aha! Are you now actually underway? Yes, good. So no danger of someone dying of a strange mood this season. As yet, no sign of a goblin invasion, but give them time. Yes, the agitated animals are still being a bit of a nuisance. What are you hauling, I wonder? A cloak, okay. Why are you feeling faint? Why are you suffering from moderate blood loss? You have been injured. Okay, maybe we don't have a vampire problem.
Curiously, that doesn't come up under wounds.
No. So you have been in a fight, but I wouldn't have expected any of that to cause... This is all... None of this looks like moderate blood loss. Admittedly, it does seem to... Oh, you must have been one of the people who got into that fight at the southern edge of the map. Oh, were you the one who didn't go to hospital? That might explain it. I think the person one of the dwarves who got into that fight, ended up like not getting taken to hospital, and walked home very slowly, and thus is possibly still recovering from the blood loss as a result of fighting those ravens. And I think it might have been this might have been the person. So yeah, okay, I'm going to consider that the fact that they're feeling faint is a hangover of the raven fight last session. The forgotten beast Obi Ralavume. Sorry, Relavawume. Thank you. That's slightly easier to pronounce. Has come. A gigantic hairy lizard. It has thin wings of stretched skin, and it squirms and fidgets. Its eyes glow scarlet. Its slate grey hair is patchy. Beware its poisonous vapours. I can't currently see it down there, so it's probably wandered off a bit. That is right on, I suppose, as you might expect, we first discover it right on the edge of where we can detect things. So, yes, that's fine. We don't worry about that. Someone is coming to smelt some hematite. We may even soon be capable of... yes, forged steel gauntlets now only has 6 remaining to be done. So we are even successfully forging new armour. I have a feeling we thus need to occasionally poke squads to tell them to reevaluate their armour choices. This squad appears to only have 1 person in. Maybe we should move them into a different squad. Like, we don't have a shortage of spaces in other squads. I think we should disband the Stormy Mountainous, whatever they are, the Stormy Mountainous Magicians, in favour of the Fountains of Gravel. Because we don't actually have enough dwarves for this. Now I can't remember who it was that we just removed. Well, that's fine. Indeed, in general, people who aren't currently in the military, who don't look like they have any good reason not to be in the military, we should probably just assign them here anyway, which means that maybe we do actually need another squad. No, we've still got plenty of spaces. Why are you guys not in the military? Possibly you don't know how to swim and I need to fix that. I won't worry about it for now. Actually, maybe I should. Ushul Athel. Yes, you don't know how to swim. Right, we should sort that out. And possibly several other people. So I might have put too many people in the Fountains of Gravel who can't swim. We should go back and fix that. Ushul Athel should be made the leader of the Heavy Rocks. And then we should look through the members of the Fountains of Gravel to work out who in there can't can't swim. So Mebzuth, Udil, and Fath. Mebzuth presumably can swim. Yes. Right, I can do this without needing to memorise everything. Udil can swim. Right, Simon. Fath cannot swim, and therefore Fath should be moved into the heavy rocks. Avuz, Attis, put this in the right position so we can do this quickly there. Well, I say quickly. Can swim. You can't swim though. Attis, so Attis can't swim. Logem can't swim. Kurem Sarvesh thing can't swim. Can I remember all of those names? There was Attis. Kogan Sarvesh thing, and I've forgotten the other one. And Logem. So who else is there that is in the Fountains of Gravel who shouldn't be? Stukos. So, no, sorry. Avuz Meng thing. Can swim. Stukos. Can swim. And Aloth. Can swim. Right, okay, so we fixed that problem. Let's just see if there's anyone. So anyone who actually isn't in the military at all. Right, yes. So I think now everyone is, with the exception of one hand ML Dodok, who possibly should be in the Silent Smiths, everyone is now in a military squad because they don't appear on, because this list first lists those people who are not in a squad, and there's only one of them. So the heavy rocks now needs to go for a swimming lesson. They probably will automatically, won't they? Yes. Though possibly not until after they all found their equipment. Artifact shale mechanisms. She offers it to the Treaty of Caves, who will turn it into a weapon trap. It is called Istikozon. I should look up what that means. This is a shale mechanisms. All craft dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval granite cabochons and rectangular praise opal cabochons, studded with billen and encircled with bands of rectangular shale cabochons and round cinnabar cabochons. This object menaces with spikes of billen and green glass. On the item is an image of diamonds in alpaca wool. On the item is an image of a larch in praise opal. The name means the shriveled depression. Okay, that's a kind of goblin name, I think. Oh, I can type iron in here, can't I? Yes, that makes life easier. Yes, I think, as I understand it, cabochon is kind of the easiest thing to do with a gem, with a stone, because it doesn't involve carefully cutting any faces into it. Unlike more exciting gem cuts. Do we still have any? So I should probably look around here for like where. So there are weapons that far north at least. Just going, what should I? Where should I build another weapon trap? But frankly, we've still got these two to build, haven't we? And that one's been built now. That one is suspended. Let's resume that. And let's go for building one in the square next to it as well. No, let's build this one in the square next to it after we've built that one, because I bet some of the items in this square are actually assigned to be used for that trap. Possibly we could start melting down some of these metal shields as well. Well, you'll get better at furnace operating eventually. There's still a lot of storing items going on, but I think we actually have enough dwarves for it to be reasonable to stick things into stockpiles now, which is good given the amount of things that are being stuck into stockpiles. Like before, we were so short on dwarves that it was important that everyone actually be doing something useful. But now we can at least spare some people to work on organising all the things. Yes, it is fairly late. Anyway, I should probably stop fairly soon, not stay up indefinitely. What are you delivering? Are you delivering a useful object? You're delivering more fluxstone. Excellent. So we've still got a decent supply of fluxstone waiting to be mined, haven't we? But that has been mined, waiting to be hauled up stairs when we have space for it. Yes. I'm slightly confused by the fact that by how long it's been since anyone did any of this mining mined. But there's enough already mined for now. We'll worry about it when it starts running out, maybe. So that's still going all right. It's all quite calm. We're into mid-autumn. Still no sign of the goblins. We might have to start like doing something productive soon. I mean, maybe not. We're like comfortably spending a lot of time just tidying things up. Maybe we should put more effort into disposing of all the dead bodies and skeletons and such like around here. Like we could temporarily enable hauling corpses into the pending butchery piles, for instance. Though we could just dump some skeletons, to be fair. Most of these animals don't seem to be agitated, which is confusing me. Oh, some of them are at least. Some of them are both agitated and named. So possibly we should, like... I don't know how to deal with that. It is marked for dumping. I was going to say, I don't know how to deal with that. Let's dump it. And then it turns out it's already marked for dumping, but no one has dumped it yet. It's confusing. It says you should get more siege operators so you can perforate goblins. I mean, we've got a decent number now. I don't really want to drag too many people into this in case it turns out to be useless. Right, here we are building another trap. Dizzy, it says, build ballistae too? We could, I suppose. I mean, they are a lot less... The thing about ballistae is that their ammunition is slow and expensive. Oh, what? A section of the cavern has collapsed. Oh dear, right, there's a great big forest fire again down there. Or cavern fire. I don't think it's so much that the cavern has collapsed as that a forest tree has fallen down. A cavern tree has fallen down. Because things are on fire down there again. Underground fires, yes, not very nice. We can't really see what's going on because it's a long way away. Yes, ballistae can now, I believe, be aimed. So possibly we should build one just to see what they do. But the thing is, we thus probably want to align them so that they can pass along, yeah, that's fine, along a large group of goblins, or maybe we just do whatever we can do and see what happens. Claire, are you suggesting that the way to deal with forest fires is by dumping magma on them? Like, I don't think that will extinguish them, really. I mean, one thing we have so far achieved in this fortress is not causing enormous great fires anywhere ourselves. It's mostly the Forgotten Beasts that set fire to things. Happily, I think fires mostly can't spread across Z levels, so despite the amount of smoke down here, hasn't actually spread down a level to here or into the canopies of the trees. Oh, actually, there is some more ash over here, isn't there? I mean, I don't actually want to destroy all the trees on the surface because that will probably get us even more agitated wildlife, which is inconvenient. Right, that artifact weapon trap is built. That one is still waiting. Okay, let's build some. Let's at least have the other two kinds of siege engines out there. We have still got a stock of bolt thrower parts here. Did I build too many bolt thrower parts? I suspect the answer is there's no such thing. What? That just suddenly got cancelled. Needs logs. Okay, ballistae are made from wood. Oh, we have 2 dwarves waiting to learn to swim. And another 2 incoming. Was 4 the number we wanted? I'll have a look. There should be 5 members of the Heavy Rocks, so it would be ideal if we could get a 5th one. Oh, is that a member of the Heavy Rocks? No. You're a member of the Oceanic Calm. You're a member of the Salty Inks and are just going to collect an item to store in a bin. Well, I mean, if there are only 4 of you who want to learn to swim, then I'm quite happy to have you lot learn, if no one else is coming along. Okay, let's do that. We need to close the drain. We'll wait and see if while that's being closed, we'll see if anyone else turns up. Ah, are you the last member? Yes. I mean, I presume that they're all turning up now because they've actually managed to get their equipment together. And it takes a while for a squad to organise all of its equipment. And once equipped, they can then come here and, like, at least try to practice dodging. I learned about dodging. It's very interesting. Apparently. What? Now you've decided you need to fill your water skin first. Okay. Dizzy, it suggests the theory that dwarves have ADHD. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 2 more of that squad have just wandered off. Possibly also for the purposes of, like, filling a water skin or something. We do, yeah, I think those 2 are busy filling their water skins. I'm not sure about the rest. Maybe part of the problem is that they get thirsty while they're training, drink some, and then immediately go, oh, my water skin isn't full enough, I should go and fill it up. Well, we'll give them a chance to get back. Because like now we're down to 2 dwarves trying to learn to swim, and that's just a silly number. Oh, that's that that thing, that artifact weapon trap is complete. That one is still underway. So can we build? I don't want to chop down more trees, you see. I suppose I could just we've got plenty of things made of wood lying around, haven't we? So if this task, yeah, that probably also needed logs, yes. So what we could actually do is dismantle some more of like the minecart tracks that we're not using. I mean, yes, it would be a good idea to get the roller coaster together again, but right now it is not a priority. Actually, we could dismantle other things first, like the system for throwing goblins into the sea, because we've actually decided that that's a bad idea. I think that was at least partly made of wood. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was all made of gypsum. It's possible we can safely take this stuff apart without making a complete mess of it. Who knows? So yes, we can get some logs out. And then we can use them for making more weapons. Because I would like not to cut trees down, because cutting the trees, if we wait long enough, the agitated wildlife will cease being agitated if we can refrain from cutting trees down. I think. I mean, maybe they'll be agitated by everything else we're doing. Who knows? Oh dear, a wild raven has accidentally met one of our many weapon traps. This is not very good for the wildlife, I'm afraid. Possibly this is going to agitate the way that our weapon traps keep killing wildlife may agitate the wildlife. Obviously, we thus need some way to restrain the weapon traps somehow. Oh, surprisingly few nearby weapons here. I don't know whether engaging in cavern forestry annoys the wildlife. Possibly that just annoys the wildlife in the caverns, which may or may not be helpful. Okay, what's the mayor mandating now? You want more leather armour. Okay. We possibly should try to buy leather occasionally. No, not like that. I mean a work order so that it doesn't... Oops. Why can't I type into that? Eh? I mean, I can easily enough find make leather armour anyway. How many did you want? Was it 2? Doing it as a work order has the advantage that the that if we turn out not to have any leather, it'll stay there, triggering messages telling me we have no leather. What? What? How did you die? You were the one who was running out of blood. That's very suspicious. I'm going to carve a memorial to you, which is the way that dwarves do a post-mortem, kind of. Because I am suspicious of someone who just drops dead after having been losing blood, and I don't quite know what's going on. Yes, the memorial is likely to tell me how they died, like it might, because we found their body. So yes, we did have in a previous fortress a situation where someone had been killed by a vampire, and the I can't remember the precise details, but I think the memorial gave the vampire's cover name, and so we could find who they were who they were pretending to be. Anyway, that means that all of the other members of the heavy rocks are ready to be are ready to learn to swim. We would quite like to get this corpse out of the room first. Someone has assigned themselves, I think, the task of putting it somewhere. We'll just check. That makes me think that we don't have enough tombs set up if someone's going to put their corpse in a stockpile, but it's a good start. Right. So now we can teach the rest of them how to swim. They're slightly depressed because one of their squad mates just dropped dead in front of them, but didn't feel anything after seeing Attis Tuorite die, was afraid after experiencing trauma, but satisfied after learning about dodging and proud after teaching striking. Well, you're going to learn some swimming now. At some point, someone will come along and pull the lever, I'm sure. Yes. Here they come. Spleesh! Right, I hope you're all happy now because you've experienced a waterfall. No, you're merely satisfied after teaching dodging. You were close enough to the waterfall. Yes, I'm sure you are a talented cook, but we don't actually need a cook because we've got 22,000 food in the fortress. And we're still making honey. I mean, if people are thinking about butchering animals, maybe we should start organising things so that we can. I mean, that stockpile almost doesn't have anything in it now. Doesn't seem like a very exciting fight. But, you know, we have what appears to be someone being killed by a squad of ravens, though we will find out precisely what killed them later. All migrants. Damn it, I should have worked out where they were coming on from. They usually come from the east. We have had them come from the south as well. Can't see any there. Oh, there they are. You can't swim. One was Fortune Rocks. It's a kind of familiar name. Licot Stukos thingamy. Yes, Datan. Vabok. That one, presumably. Why are you going that way? Cogsack. Okay, we may need to fill the mortal bodices again. So Tekud Athel Nanir needs to be made captain of the mortal bodices. And possibly the only member of the mortal bodices. Where are you going? You're running down there and then going back again, are you? Okay. Right, so the new arrivals will learn to swim shortly, but the swimming pool is currently in use. Why did you not use one of the nearby rocks? Uh, 21 pets. Sorry, I was just wondering, how easy is it for you to find a pet to interact with? Oh, no problem at all. Yes. Well, I mean, I'm sure it makes you happy. I'm just kind of vaguely looking around and seeing what's going on. Like, what are you carrying and where are you putting it? All right, you're adding things to this stockpile because this stockpile is now slightly more sensibly organised, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Right. Yes, how is that? Dismantling is mostly not happening. That's curious. And the mining is mostly not happening. I wonder if we need to muck around with where our miners are assigned in the military. Like, it's possible that they need to be in a squad that doesn't have weapons, so that they don't get, or that is assigned a pick as their weapon. Because I think I saw miners doing some mining and then running away and doing something else with their pick, which is probably not ideal. Seems that there are quite a lot of bone crossbow bolts that are still waiting to be stored in their correct stockpile. Indeed, that bin doesn't actually have anything in it, I think because everything ends up in this square. Yes, I think I explained how that happened before. Quite a lot of those are metal bolts that really ought to be eventually shifted into this stockpile. So, oh yes, what's going on with tombs? Why did that dwarf get put in a stockpile rather than a tomb? Did they later get entombed? Maybe they did. Like, I can't actually see any spare dwarves there, any spare corpses there, so I think we're fine for tombs. Yes, there's their tomb. We aren't actually fine for tombs. They've just filled the penultimate tomb. Right. Right, and we don't have any spares, so let's... schedule making another 10 rock coffins. Do you want more leather armour? Yes, you do. No, not like that. You're up to adequate. You're up to adequate swimmer. You're an adequate swimmer. And you're an adequate swimmer. Excellent. Right, we can put all of them into a different squad now. So who was it again? Well, you'll have to be moved later. Fath Uskoshnish. Logem Erush Ibmat. And Kova and Kogan Sarvesh Thosput. Right, so then we also want to assign someone new to be the captain of the heavy rocks, Muthkat, which is currently Muthkat, because, and they can be the person who is currently the captain of the mortal bodices, because that has no actual members. So that's Tekud Athel Nanir. Now goes into being in charge of the heavy rocks, which means that Fath Ukothnish can join Fountains of Gravel. Allegedly. Give them a short chance to reorganise themselves and then it might work better. No. Fath Ukoshnish definitely exists. Military situation is already in the Fountains of Gravel. Let me just confirm. Are all four of you in the Fountains of Gravel now? You're not. Muthkat. Oh yes, it was Muthkat, you're right. by which I mean I'm right or wrong. I don't know. Right, so now that lot can now leave the swimming pool. And then the new arrivals can can go into the swimming pool instead. Yeah, right, we're still not making steel as fast as we would like, but that's fine. Steel making is a slow process. Admittedly, what are you hauling around? You're hauling an iron spear to put in a bin somewhere. That concerns me because I feel that you shouldn't be hauling iron spears to put into bins. Where do you think this iron spear should go? Your Cogsack Kugan. We can't tell because we just get told in a bin somewhere. Used to be that you could find this out, but this version of Dwarf Fortress is not so willing to tell us these facts. So that's part of stockpile number 1, is it? Let's look at the rule. Stockpile number 1 is like the first stockpile I ever made in this fortress, as you might guess from its number. And possibly it still has too much stuff assigned to it. Okay, yes, it's willing to take all weapons. Is that really sensible? Can we sensibly exclude things from this? Like, surely now we're in a situation where the only weapons we actually care about internally are made of steel, and anything else is probably scheduled to be melted down anyway. So we could just say no stone, no other materials, and no metals apart from steel. Oh, and adamantine, just in case we ever find any. I mean, like, we're not deliberately not going looking, but and don't bother with putting unusable weapons in there. Right, that seems a more sensible setup for that stockpile. That should reduce the amount of stuff people haul to it pointlessly. You know, like that bronze pick. We can have higher standards than that. Actually, like, silver warhammers are almost useful because that is the heaviest weapons grade metal. Right, that's all looking good. Oh, we've got more grizzly bears. Let's train them. Like, I'm not sure that the war grizzlies are actually useful, but we have a tradition now. Possibly we should allow them to be pets. Maybe they would work better if they were tending to accompany people anyway. Maybe someone in this place likes grizzly bears. What's going on with my miners? Because no one's done any mining or equivalent for a while, and I'm getting a bit suspicious of this. Are you doing something silly like repeatedly picking up and putting down a pick? So now you've picked up a pick. Oh, and now you're going to train a grizzly bear for war, apparently. Right. Does that mean I can go to bed now? No, I'm not actually in a hurry to go to bed, but it would be nice soonish. Yes, you're cancelling a bunch of jobs because you haven't got any steel. That's fine. You're training a bear for war. When you've done that, would you like to go and do some mining? It'll make my life better. Right. Someone's trained a grizzly bear for war, but not the correct one yet. So yes, possibly we want to have a squad for miners, which is explicitly equipped with a pick. Now you're storing an item in a bin. Are you by any chance about to store your pick in a bin in order to be unhelpful for me? Yes, you are. Yeah, I think there's some confusion here. You've picked up a pick again and now going to store something else. So that your weapon is a battle axe and a crossbow. I don't think they're traumatised about mining, even though this has caused some trouble the mining has caused some trouble in the past. I think they're merely a bit confused about what thing they ought to be doing. And whether they should be carrying this pick around and whether they should be carrying a battle axe around and so forth. And I think there is a long-standing uncertainty in Dwarf Fortress about this stuff. So I think what I should try doing, and now they're training a raven, is creating yet another squad. Which will initially have no uniform. Yes, which can be called the Crystalline Sanctums. I think we'll accept that. Because it will be for miners. Actually, we could assign them. Is that what I meant? That doesn't seem to be working. Maybe we need to give them a leader first. So they should be. Actually, can we not find? Oh, hang on, I accidentally made them. Did I make them the wrong kind of thing? I'm slightly concerned I might have got that wrong. But now they won't be called the Crystalline Sanctums. We don't want a captain of the guard squad. We want to create a new militia commander post. Militia captain post, rather. Into which we will assign. I think there's someone who is officially a miner, isn't there? Oh, I thought there was. We will assign Ast Tholathel as a militia captain. He's also our chief medical dwarf. Right, and then we can create a squad for them. No, what? Now surely is there... Oh, there they are, right, yes. Which will currently have Let's give them standard armour number 4 and then we'll change it. The violent tongs, no, that's not quite right either. Do we have picks available? Yes. That's much better. I mean, possibly we could come up with a better adjective as well, but... Oh, the bloody picks. No, maybe, no, that's a bit too, that's not quite right. The busy picks. Yes, we'll go for the busy picks. So then what we'll do is we'll change their weapon to be specifically picks. Other than that, they have standard equipment. And we will then save that as a new uniform and assign that uniform to everyone. Right. And then we should move into there. Everyone else who's meant to be a minor, which is currently Dusim Tost Momuz. Oops. No, I can't type into there, damn it. Which is Dusim Tost Momuz. And of course, because they have as actually they may turn up be fairly easy to find, because this squad has picks as their weapon. We actually get told if someone is a minor when selecting them. But I think our other minor is not a minor. Stukos Regon Shen is not actually any good at mining. Right. So then their schedule should be entirely off duty, or rather entirely ready. They should never go training, because if they need to learn anything, they can just do a bit of mining. Right. We are apparently following Stukos Regonshen, who is training a raven as we speak. Somewhere in the middle of the map, possibly. We're in the middle of the screen. I can't actually find them though. Someone's grown up. Yes, we faffed everyone around a bit. We're still short of logs. Oh, do we still have jobs that make wooden bins? Let's cancel that. Wood is too precious to use for bins. I mean, okay, yes. Cancel that. Yeah, we probably do want to try to cheer up some dwarves. I mean, I think only the ones in red are a serious danger. I think you're still not properly equipped, sir. Possibly we need to quickly tell the busy picks to... All right, you're now going to sort out your equipment because you are now carrying and wearing nothing. Yes, you do need to get some better equipment on you. Where are you going? What item of equipment have you discovered somewhere in the distant parts of the surface that require you to wander out here? Oh, right, yes, there is a bridge down here at the moment, isn't there, which connects up to a place where goblins die. That was interesting. You seem to deliberately walk across the middle of that bridge. Now I can't see what you're doing. Oh, right, you found yourself a pick. I suppose that's useful. Why is there a bucket lying around here, hey? Now, having got yourself a pick, you're now going to walk all the way back to the fortress. No. Going somewhere else for your armour. No, you're just being weird. No, you've decided to go to a meeting. Are you grumpy because you've got no clothes on? Oh dear, we have a new religion, the mucus doctrines, which we don't have a temple for. And we thus have a slightly unhappy dwarf because they haven't been able to pray to the mucus doctrines. Where are you going for this meeting anyway? Oh, on which subject? On the subject of meetings. Have we got anyone waiting for a swimming lesson? We've got quite a few people waiting for a swimming lesson. No, we don't need to forbid the door until we're actually going to fill it with water, do we? How's their equipment? Are they actually looking like they've managed to find all their clothes? Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Like, we could definitely do better than bronze boots, but... damn it, someone's wandering off. Oh well. Now, we've got enough in there. Oh good, that means that our furnace, one of our furnace operators at least, is getting better at operating furnaces. You're quite good at furnace operating, you just are also a legendary surgeon. I mean, we now have a memorial here. We do. Right. We should erect the memorial before we read it. I'm sure making memorial slabs out of chalk works very well. Someone's going to come and pull my lever soon, yes. Why are there buckets here? Bucket, bucket. Is our well broken or something? No, looks like a perfectly good well to me. Lots of buckets near the well, as you might expect. Right, new dwarves get to learn to swim. So yes, wearing an exceptional steel helm has cheered that dwarf up. And the waterfall is obviously helpful. Right, that lot will now sit there learning to swim for a bit. What are you up to? Okay, you're randomly carrying a gauntlet around while patrolling. Don't get attached to bronze weapons. That's silly. It's idle again, which is slightly unfortunate. What are you making down here? Oh, you're trying to make some steel gauntlets, which means you've managed to find some steel. Excellent. See, we are, and we've got like a steel high boot, 2 steel high boots kicking around there, and some steel gauntlets, and some more boots. Still doesn't seem to be any mining happening, but maybe the members of that squad are still sorting out their kit. Yes. I mean, that's looking like... Now that's looking like the wrong set of kit. That doesn't look like... Yeah, you seem to be wearing your regular clothing, which is wrong. Ah, right, you're taking some of it off now. But putting different clothing on. I'm going to check what's going on with your squad equipment. So you do have the right things assigned, at least. You're just not wearing them. So does that mean your schedule's wrong? Schedule's set to that one, which is equip always. So I think that should do the right thing. But you do seem not to be wearing armour. Like, we've arranged that your standard equipment should be compatible with being a miner. So why are you still so uncertain about what you're wearing? And now you've just picked up another sock. Now what are you going to try to find? And where are you looking for it? Is that a pair of trousers? Like, again, you're not meant to be wearing trousers. You should be wearing possibly chain leggings, but I don't think I currently specify those. Okay, now you're drinking. That's fine, except for the fact that you, like many dwarves, will insist on going somewhere weird to drink. Because you happen to prefer carrot wine. Yeah, the dwarves are prone to doing things in unhelpful orders, and like this fortress is definitely not optimally laid out. Oh yes, we've got a memorial to read, haven't we? This is a memorial to Attis Sigun Kirar. Oh, in memory of Atan Sigun Kirar, born 90, succumbed to infection, slayed by the raven Decades in the year 123. So our the dwarf who eventually died of fighting ravens, it was part of their problem was that they didn't get to hospital fast enough, and so their wound got infected, and they died from that infection. So yes, that's entirely plausible and means I'm not worried about vampires anymore and merely need to be worried about people not getting their wounds cleaned quickly enough. Excellent. You're an adequate swimmer. You're an adequate swimmer. Let me pause so they don't move around. You're not an adequate swimmer. You're an adequate swimmer, and you're an adequate swimmer. Right. Sadly, one of you is not yet an adequate swimmer. Right. Oh, it's 1 a.m. Right, that seems like an excellent time to stop. I mean, okay, second best time to stop. So I think everything is going quite, I was about to say swimmingly, and that's kind of true. People are going quite swimmingly. We're constructing more and more traps. I'm trying to stop us using our wood for anything. Our miners are all getting very confused. But otherwise, things seem to be kind of working. I would quite like the miners to be willing to wear armour while mining, because that way they'll be in less trouble if they run into anything they shouldn't run into. But we'll see. And we haven't yet seen a siege, and it's the 19th of Timber. I mean, it's possible no one will turn up this season. Possibly I wouldn't be entirely surprised if one of the changes is that the sieges are slightly more realistic in terms of what it costs a civilization to send one. So, like, if they're sending so that they can send something big and scary, but like it might actually cost them something to do it. And if we slaughter the entire army, they might be a bit less capable of sending the next one. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's more or less the end for this evening. My dwarf fortress is saving, and I I'm in a position to say good night. So good night.